Good morning. Welcome to day 17, Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. Just brewed our second cup of coffee, enjoying a nice sunrise. Coming over the mountain soon. One last look at San Jacinto. Slept really well last night, just being up a couple thousand feet in elevation. We're at like 3,500 feet. Didn't have the rain fly on, a little bit of a breeze, totally comfortable. Yeah, sleeping bag was unzippered, but still, just a really nice morning. Definitely had a few folks come by after sunset with headlamps. Some were just trying to get to the next water source, which is like, I think 2 miles away. And I think others have just made a strategy to do that. Which is interesting to think about. I know for me, I do like getting up early and getting going, but the problem with that is after about 9 hours, I'm done. So that puts me right in prime afternoon desert heat for just sitting around a couple of hours. So really need to have like some shade. And there's not a lot of shade out here in the desert. So just managing that. The big thing is just to have a ton of water. And just keep drinking water. So tailwind has been really the game changer. And next town I may like try and get some more packets of something to supplement that, just for like a different flavor, lemon or orange or something. Doesn't necessarily have to have all the nutrition that tailwind does, just something to perk up the electrolytes a little bit. Today's a big day. Today is a scary day for a lot of thru-hikers who decide to skip this section. It's called the Mission Creek section. Lots of washouts. Really looking forward to it. I mean, this is the PCT. This is why we're here. It's not all going to be easy. The PCT isn't easy anyway, but this is probably going to be one of the more challenging sections, especially early on. And a lot of people, for whatever reason, have decided to skip it. And that's fine, but there are a lot of us out here who are not skipping it, which is great to see. So gonna keep getting ready, and we'll see you in a little bit. So it's a very comfortable 63 degrees right now. One of the things that happens on the trail, as far as having to dig a cat hole and use the bathroom, typically I get into a pretty regular routine. It's in the morning, and most mornings after that first cup of coffee, oh, okay, I gotta go, which is great. But then sometimes I'm not sure if I have to go, and I think this is one of those mornings where I would like to go, but I don't think I'm quite ready. So it'll probably be either later today or tomorrow morning, but this is such a nice secluded spot. It'd be easy to dig a nice little hole up here, but sadly, we don't always get what we want. All right, it's around 6:30. We're just about ready to get started. Look at that little layer of clouds in there. That's pretty cool. Just had a couple thru-hikers pass by who I had met off and on, but we chatted for a bit at the water filling station in the desert a couple of days ago. So I think they were the ones that were hoping to hitch into town. But yeah, they're back out here and tackling the creek today. And there's some Germans ahead of me who camped just below me. They've already taken off. So there's going to be quite a few of us going through the creek today. I think I counted at least 10 to 12 that are going to be tackling it, and I'm sure there's more that are just going to be a couple hours behind or a couple hours ahead. So pretty cool. Really wondering if I can use my Crocs, which would be nice, because you're basically going to walk in the creek for miles, or just have to stick with the shoes, which is fine. The trail runners can deal with that. So we shall see. It's going to be a fun day. All right, we're starting a descent. I can see Mission Creek down there. So I imagine that's where we're headed. Okay, way down there in the center frame, you can see a couple people hiking along the creek. That's where we're going. All right, we're just starting the washout section of Mission Creek. Got about 12 miles of this. All right, we're just starting. So far, only my left foot is wet. That's gonna change. We're just gonna be following the creek all the way up, avoiding washouts and crossing the creek numerous times, I imagine. I think it's gonna be fun. Maybe it'll change my mind down the road, but right now this is fine. So it looks like the trail, at least in this section, used to be on the other side of the creek. You can see all the washout. We're not even concerned about where the trail is for 7 or 8 miles. We're just gonna follow the creek all the way up. It'll get us where we need to go. So we're gonna cross here, wet foot number 3. So here's what a typical water crossing is gonna look like. Not too deep. So anyone doing this at Mission Creek, just wanted to note that there are plenty of viable campsites, flat and sandy. They're not necessarily designated on far out because of all the washouts, but even in this first mile, I've spotted at least 5 or 6 nice campsites, a decent amount away from the water, but flat ground. Some of them even have shade. So come on down and see for yourself. All right, initial impressions on this, because a lot of people on far out have a lot of impressions and ideas about whether or not to do it. It's fine. In fact, just follow the creek. There's not really a trail. Just take it nice and slow. I'm going to be taking off my trail runners a lot just to get the dirt and pebbles out. It's kind of nice having wet feet in this heat, and it's really nice having running water right next to you. What a treat. So I don't have to worry about water for miles. I can just get it whenever I need it. And so can you. All right, a little update. It's about 9:30 in the morning, so we've been going about 3 hours. Found this nice little shady washout section. We're a little under 5 miles in, not too bad. There were 3 thru-hikers. We've kind of been leapfrogging, so I'm gonna let them get a little ways ahead of me and keep on going, just taking a minute to air out the feet, get all the pebbles out, and so far so good. Just slow going. A lot of ankle busters with these rocks. You just gotta kind of take your time, but still making pretty good time, and it feels cooler because we're near the running water, I think. So that is a big plus. And then when you get these little pockets of shade, that's really nice. That's the update. Check in later. I was not expecting a rattler here. He let me know. Stay away. Wow. All right, it's about 11 in the morning. We were hoping for a shady spot, but I don't think we're gonna see one for a while. I'm gonna have some tailwind, top off my water bladder, and we still got a nice view behind us and nothing but washout and canyons in front of us. All right, so it's around 11:30. So that means we've been going for about 5 miles. The good news is I have an appetite because I'm really staying hydrated. Lots of water, having some tailwind now. Taking a little foot rest. Although as soon as I put the socks and shoes on, the feet are gonna be soaking wet again. But actually, so far the feet aren't too bad and it is kind of refreshing. So That's good. Been leapfrogging back and forth with the 3 other thru hikers. They just passed me by. And then one guy that none of us had seen before, he just flew by. So yeah, that's the update right now. Deep in the heart of Mission Creek in the washouts. All right, it's close to 2 o'clock. We've got about 1.5 miles to where I think I'm going to camp tonight. I don't want to overdo it today. Probably have about 75% of this area done, with the remaining 25% in the morning. So I think that's the plan, unless something changes. Okay, so ran into 3 thru hikers that I've been flip-flopping with. They were camped right below me last night. I think we all decided that we missed a turnoff right around 2:35, where you make a right and can get back on the trail for the rest of it, except for some washouts. Which makes sense, because I've been looking for the tent sites that are listed in Far Out and not really seeing anything. So probably went a 1/4 mile uphill and soft sand out of the way. So now backtracking that 1/4 mile. Then I imagine it looks like we're going to do some switchbacking to gain the elevation on this ridge up there, which is where we should be, where what's left of the trail is. So a little diversion, but not too terrible. That's what happens when you get in the zone out here, just trying to put miles in, thinking you're going to reach your destination for the day, and you realize, oh, missed a turn. Oh well. All right, I had to do a little scrambling, but we have found the trail. So you can tell it was going to be pretty crowded at the tent site at 2:35, where you get back on the PCT. There are some nice shady spots there for future reference. So for another 1.2 miles, there's more camping with the seasonal stream that's running right now. It is all climbing, so just slowly making our way to this tent site. A little further than I wanted to go, but that's okay. We're about a 1/2 mile away. Going to lose a little bit of elevation here, it looks like. I'll be camped somewhere around 6,800 feet, so that's good. All right, it's just a little before 4. We made it. I think I'm going to take this site right here, be next to the nice sounds of running water. There's some other sites here that are nice as well, but this is a nice shady one. So, all right, we got camp set up. An unusual amount of ants in the area, but that's fine. What a long day, but this is a great spot. Have collected some ice cold, clear, cool water. The water from Mission Creek was silty, and I had to clean like debris out of my CNOC bag, and even in my JetBoil, I noticed there was some like grit in there. But this water is crystal clear, so gonna treat myself to an ice cold tailwind and then go from there. My German friends from last night are back. It's Slash and Aragon, so they're camped just a little further north of me, but a lot of nice shady spots here, and that cold water is a huge plus. So just gonna settle in and relax for a bit. So the combination of unlimited water and shade just can't be beat. It's a huge morale booster at the end of the day. I do have a minor repair to make. This is my tent pole bag, and I've developed a little tear right there, who knows from where. So I'm just gonna slap some tenacious tape on there to give this bag a little more life. All right, it's getting to be 5 o'clock. Feeling hydrated, feeling good. Because we have so much water, I'm gonna do a double feature. Start off with some chicken ramen, and then we're gonna switch over to some taters, throwing in a bunch of jerky, our bacon jerky. So that is the plan. I'm gonna get the ramen, I'm gonna get the soup on. Yeah, it's nice because there's shade, so can definitely have some hot stuff and feel good. And we'll check in a bit. Still processing the day. So I just getting ready to put my soup on. Another Thru-Hiker came on down. It's good because I don't have my rain fly on. I'm right next to the trail, so saying howdy to everyone. So I met a cool guy named Anvil who did the whole thing in 2018. He was saying Mission Creek is not the way he remembers it. It was a completely different trail. What would that be, 2018, 6 years ago. So a lot has changed. All right, just finished our first course of ramen soup. Very tasty. There was a really cool vibe today on the trail and at camp here. There's 5 other Thru-Hikers here. We were all kind of chatting for a little bit. Yeah, this was a tough little spot. And most of us who did this also did Fuller Ridge with the snow and/or San Jacinto. So we're doing the hard stuff. I mean, the entire Thru-Hike is hard. This is just the extra hard stuff that a lot of people are skipping for various reasons. And in about 2-3 days, we're all going to be in Big Bear, where everyone who skipped we're going to be seeing again. It's just a really nice feeling of pride and accomplishment, at least for me personally, to know that, if I'm lucky enough to say I thru-hiked the entire PCT, I did the entire PCT. And the only thing I'm not going to do is something dangerous like a fire closure. So yeah, everyone's feeling really good and stoked. We still have a few more miles and a couple more washouts, but nothing like what we just went through today. So yeah, have to figure out now the mileage to Big Bear when I think I might be getting into town, make a hotel reservation, all that fun stuff. My resupply package, I was worried about getting there. It hasn't even gotten to Big Bear Lake yet. It was in a facility in Texas this morning. So I should have no problem with that 10-day rule if they're sticklers for it there. So that's a little relief on my mind. Unfortunately, no cell service here tonight, so I can't check in with Sarah. But I'll try and get a hold of her at some point on the trail tomorrow. I'll look on Far Out and see where there might be service. So yeah, I think I'm going to start editing this video, see what the numbers are for the final recap. Probably come back on one more time and call it a night. All right, quick recap for the evening. First of all, it's getting a little chilly. We're like at 6,800 feet. I'm going to, as soon as I'm done this, I'm going to put the rain fly on because I think it might be a little colder here tonight, which is awesome. Going to start my mashed potatoes soon. We ended up doing a little over 13 miles today. They were a hard 13 miles, most of it trailless. So very happy with that. And yeah, looking forward to another great day on the trail tomorrow. See you then.
Trials and tribulations of Brian being on the trail, part 1. I went to go and turn on our TV and use our Roku, which I do not every night, but most nights. And it said it wasn't connected. So I came over to our TV thinking I would just unplug it and restart it, right? Sometimes there's a firmware update or something that doesn't work. So I did that, but I came over to do that and all I saw was this. And I start getting in my head and thinking, oh my goodness, someone's come in our house and I haven't noticed. I was away last week visiting my family. And all I took was the Roku. I couldn't figure it out. I was going crazy. I went downstairs to where our workout TV is to think, like, did Brian put the Roku down there before he left? But I could have sworn I'd watched TV on the Roku since Brian was away. I had. This is the plug to our old Roku that we got rid of months ago, and I just never noticed that Brian, when he replaced it, sorry, I'm blaming you, did not unplug this from the wall. So now this is going in the trash because there's a brand new Roku. It's very tiny. It's plugged into the TV. So obviously back in business, but I freaked myself out just a moment. Thank goodness for my friend Becca FaceTiming me and calming me down because I was like, what is going on? So trial and tribulations of Brian away. Part 1. I'm sure there's going to be many more.